Welcome to the Bible Boys. Highway to hell.
Welcome to Bible Boys, a podcast where two ex-evangelical siblings and an ex-Catholic non-sibling watch Christian media and either praise or condemn it. I'm Aaron.
I'm Josh.
And I'm Michael.
And this week, we go back to the 12th century, and also the year 2010, for the world's worst book-to-video game adaptation, Dante's Inferno. Before we try to unsee an unholy amount of demon titties, please be sure to rate and review us on Apple Podcasts, like and comment on our video, and follow us on Twitter at TheBibleBoys.
I have to say, it is very interesting that we started this one, because I did miss last week due to being possessed by a demon. So this was kind of like what I experienced last week, as I had to fight my demon down to hell.
I mean, it sounds like you had a rough week.
I've had worse.
We are doing a lot of hell-related content in the past couple months, and I'm kind of here for it. I guess April is just our Satan month. Yeah, truly. We didn't plan it like this, but that's just how it turned out. And hopefully, listen, we got one more hell-related thing for y'all next week, but I'm hoping this is the worst one that we've covered.
It's not.
Oh, fuck.
Oh,
well,
no.
We'll talk about that at the end of the episode.
Super not.
So I thought it would be kind of fun since Michael took us on a very erudite, complex, thoughtful criticism of Megan's body last week. I thought we could maybe tone it down. I know a lot of the people in the audience are, real intellectuals, but I'm a gamer. I don't know if you all have heard. And I think I'd really, like to bring this sort of conversation back to the people, power to the gamers, gamers rise up. And to do that, I wanted to talk about the only Christian-themed video game I could think of that wasn't related to the Left Behind franchise, which was the 2010 Dante's Inferno, which is basically like a God of War, but adapted to Dante Alighieri's famous Inferno.
I just have to say before I comment this on the YouTube video, it's Jennifer's body, not Megan's body.
Did I say Megan's body?
Yeah, I was thinking about just going into the YouTube comments afterwards and writing, actually, but I thought that this would be nicer.
Is it nicer you waited until we're 3 minutes into the recording?
I didn't want to cut him off and be like, excuse me, sir, it is not Jennifer Fox, it's Megan Fox.
Well, if anybody comments on that, they will have their IP address blocked, so... Anyway, I don't think we need to go through the plot summary. I mean, we'll do the plot summary, but I think it'll take less than 5 minutes. It's basically, it follows the story of Dante, who in this version was a crusader who was present during the Third Crusade and perpetrated a massacre after the Battle of Acre. And for all the various sins he commits during this battle, he goes back to Florence. He finds that both his dad and his mistress / girlfriend are murdered.
She has her titty out. Titty counter.
We'll talk
1.
about. Yeah, we'll talk about that. And he tries to save her from becoming Lucifer's bride. And he goes down through the various levels of hell. He starts at where does he start? I think it's the cliffs of Acheron. He meets Virgil, who guides him through, and once he's in Acheron, he boards Charon's vessel, which is just a big boat with a huge head, which I loved.
I did absolutely hate Virgil in this, because in the actual book, Virgil's a fucking Chad. Virgil gets Dante out of so many issues, and just has this dude's back through the entire journey, but here, all Virgil does is go, hey, listen! That's the only role that he has.
No, Virgil does nothing here. Yeah, but basically Dante just, fights through the various layers of hell, all the way from limbo down to the last layer in treachery.
I did have a question that goes back to a previous podcast when I was like, ha ha ha, Catholics think babies go to hell.
And I knew you were gonna fucking bring this up.
Why did I also know exactly where this question was?
I wrote it in my notes. I knew you were gonna bring this. Oh, are you gonna say, "Oh wow, I guess I was right," because Visceral Games 2010 Dante's Inferno confirmed the Protestants' beliefs?
I'm just saying, I think it's as divinely given information as anything that comes out of the Vatican. So yes.
Yeah. The Pope wrote a bull and was like, "Oh yeah, by the way, anything EA puts out, that's also infallible."
Peter wrote that. He was like, "Listen, make Catholicism the Pope's in charge. EA, they're always right."
Yeah. The story is very boring. He does, of course, eventually defeat Lucifer. Beatrice is, saved. She doesn't become a demon spawn, and she floats back up to heaven. They're very optimistically they leave a sequel teaser where he looks upon Mount Purgatory, and he's like, I'm gonna go there next, and also Satan's here. And it's unfortunately, Visceral Games did get shut down in 2017, so that never happened. But that's not funny. But the fact that they wanted to make this a trilogy is actually extremely funny.
I just love when a called shot gets knocked down that hard. It's like anytime you watch any of the 2000s Marvel movies that weren't before the MCU, just where they're like, the next Fantastic Four is going to have the Silver Surfer, but he might be a good guy. It's like, no, he's not. They're not making another one of these.
Well, if you're going to... Well, actually, that's a Sony movie.
It's still made by Marvel. It's Marvel property. I know Sony owned it, but, they're Marvel characters.
Or wait, no, it was 20th Century Fox, just to correct myself here, but... It was actually owned by 20th Century Fox.
Oh, we almost had the perfect trilogy of actuallys.
I mean,
yeah,
look.
No.
If you're going to correct my friend, I'm going to correct you too.
I'm just saying babies go to hell. I don't know what you want from me.
What are our feelings on this video game?
I was very confused because at first I was like, are they taking the stance Crusades bad? Because I'm into that. Crusades were bad. Mm-hmm. Crusades very bad. But I then realized that they weren't taking a stance, that this was just a paint scheme. It was just the color scheme they used for God of War. And once I realized that, I was like, oh, there's absolutely nothing here other than Satan showing up occasionally going, I'm going to cuck you. And that's the entire video game. While Dante goes, no!
I mean, I feel like this was simply, at its core, like the video game, a God of War reskin. I feel like I just downloaded a mod that made everything Catholic instead of ancient Greek, but it wasn't complete, so we still had some ancient Greek inspiration, and a lot of it, in fact. I kept going, really, we're getting a Minotaur? Okay. Really, we're getting the River Styx? Okay.
Which is interesting, because that tracks. Because famously, Dante brings up a lot of Greek figures, and that's because he had a hard-on for the Aeneid, and hated all of the Greek heroes. So he was like, and this is why Odysseus is getting tortured in hell. Go Latin. which was really interesting. Because I don't know if you guys remember, in the big titty fight, I know it's hard to remember anything during the big titty fight, but she calls upon...
Cleopatra and Antony.
Yeah. So I was like, well, these are... I get why they did it, because that's a very, the pop culture lust brain would go there for historical figures. But if it was more accurate, it would just be some random Greek hero, because Dante thinks all Greeks are in hell.
Yeah, I mean, so have either of you actually read the Inferno, Paradiso or Purgatorio?
I've read the Inferno 2 or 3 times.
Only
Okay,
once.
great. Yeah, I mean, I haven't read them either all the way, any of them all the way through, besides just like skimming quotes on Wikipedia to put on my sixth grade Facebook wall. Um, but yeah, like I think this is such a, it is interesting, right? Because like, despite the fact that the game is nothing, like it's just a hack and slash that is trying to cash in on that God of War market, it is getting into some interesting ideas. Like Virgil does just spout text from the Inferno. Um and I'm wondering what you all think about the ways they use this framework to frame what is otherwise a very straightforward beat 'em up game.
For me, the most glaring moment was the fact that they kept the suicide forest, which is something I know Catholicism still has an interesting relationship with. Interesting isn't bad.
Yeah, we are using the interesting word a little too frequently. We could just call this gross.
Yeah, it's very bad. Bad. Don't say everyone that commits suicide spends eternity in hell, as they should. Which is what happens because Dante's mother is there. And she's like, yeah, I chickened out. Your abusive father, I couldn't do it, sorry. And I don't know, if you're just making a hack and slash, don't try. But don't touch that stuff. Don't touch the highbrow thinky stuff.
Yeah, I mean, so I actually found that to be just such an interesting character study of Dante, because I'm simply reviewing this. I'm actually really divorcing this from the source material, much like this game and this anime divorces itself from the source material. I feel like they're different enough that like enough creative liberties were taken that we could have told different stories in different moments. And I think it is a telling moment that Dante saves his mother's soul, but no one else's. Like, if the suicide forest got you that in your feelings, these might be someone else's mother. I mean, Dante's a hero without any empathy, right? Like, he is truly a sociopath.
Do you mean, like, just in the forest or in general?
In general. Oh my god.
Oh, because I thought he saved, like, quite a few souls. Like, I thought that was the whole point.
Yeah, so we only watched the cutscene video, so we didn't see it. But the mechanic in this game is that Dante, like, has that cross gives him the ability to redeem souls, which is a wild theological position to take. Like, this sinner that is literally being damned to hell is also given the ability to redeem souls from hell, Christ-like. Like, the only other person that they say has, in this universe who has removed souls from hell is the Maker, right? And I mean, if you want to draw from Christian mythology, right, Jesus went down to hell after his death and redeemed everyone. But also Dante, who is positioned both in this game and in the anime as like a huge fucking awful person.
I do feel with 3 or 4 changes, I would be completely like 9 out of 10 rating for me. And the fact that they didn't make it makes it like a 2 out of 10. And it comes from one single line of this cutscene. Stay with me, Aaron. Stay with me. Because Aaron...
No, you've lost me too. I need you to know.
Stick with me, guys. So at
You're
one point...
0 out of 2.
Dante turns towards Virgil and goes, where are all of the people I killed? Like, where are all of the non-believers? Shouldn't they be burning here? And Virgil goes, this is your hell. And if they had gone with, this is just solely Dante dealing with the terrible shit he did and redeeming himself and fully leaned into that, and this was just about Dante looking at the terrible shit he did and going, yeah, that was fucked up, yeah, I hurt these people, then I think you have an interesting story. But the fact that they just were like, this is your hell, I thought that was a cool line, and then the rest of it was just terrible.
I think that's a very interesting read. I think you're very much right. Like, this whole... Right, that's the problem, right? Is that this game didn't follow through on any of the narrative seeds that it was laying, besides the fact that, Dante wanted to save Beatrice. Like, the A-plot they got, I guess, but everything else was just fucking completely thrown to the wayside. Like they're like, at least in the cutscenes, like we saw, this evil priest who told Dante that all his sins would be forgiven. Like it was setting him up to be one of the big bads, like even more than Lucifer, right? Never gets paid off, at least in the video game. And like they say that line, like that's like, this is your hell. No, the fuck it's not. There's other people here. Like, I mean, his dad, maybe, that makes sense. Cleopatra?
Right, what'd she do to you?
Well, your best friend dash future brother-in-law, like, who's...
What? Why is he here at all?
He was a good
He seemed
dude.
like a cool guy.
So, like, it could have been very interesting if it was just him, because I like the scene where he fought his dad. Like, I thought there was something cool that could be done with that. And if instead of the big lust fight, it was him, like, fighting with himself. And I thought, like, instead, when he gets down and we see Satan, it could have been I was like, it's gonna be Dante. It's gonna be Dante. It's gonna look just like him. And you know what it was? It was a man with a giant goat penis.
It was Baphomet, yeah. No,
It was a huge goat penis, though. We cannot leave because the game made me look at that giant goat penis for so long.
I don't remember a goat penis. That might just be your own fanfiction.
I also don't remember, and I need you all to know, I watched this, 20 minutes ago.
There was a huge goat penis!
Josh, did you watch a different video than we did?
I clicked the link with the cutscenes! There's a huge goat penis!
I guess Josh just got the modded version with extra genitalia.
Because you also watched the one where bad guys were shot out of the Big Lust Demon's nipple, right?
What? No! Oh my god, you did watch a different one!
Oh my god, I watched a different one.
I sent you the shortest version, and you watched the fucking the Snyder cut with. Oh, Josh, you did extra work. I'm so happy.
This is a present to me. I feel like.
Fuck? You guys didn't watch that?
No.
No wonder you guys were like, "What's this bullshit he's gonna drop with this line?" What the fuck? Oh, I'm so upset. Yeah, when he fights the lust demon, bad guys shoot out of her nipples.
Oh my god, I didn't see that version.
Yeah,
I remember, I remember the discourse around this because I was like a freshman, sophomore in high school, and I remember people talking about this, and like, yeah, like a big plot point was like, Cleopatra's Jillian demon titties, or like, it's like, wow. And like, just a brief aside, basically no woman in this game has a shirt on. It's, boobs for days. It's really gross and exploitative. So like, listen, this is not high art by any stretch of the imagination. But like, to go off that, like, do you all remember what video games were like in 2010?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because Josh, you would have been like, what, 10-ish, I want to say? 11, yeah. So like, this is like PS3, mid PS3, Xbox 360 era. Like, God of War is very popular. The fact that there were textures was like, it made it like photorealistic, right? Like, I've been replaying Kingdom Hearts 2, and like despite the fact that that game is 5 years younger than older than Dante's Inferno, the color design alone just is. Dante's Inferno is so grim. It's got browns and blacks and, reds, but, like, there's no color. And that was true of a lot of those games of that era, right? It was all just...
Gears of War time as well, where they were just like...
Yes, exactly.
Brown and gray are our color palettes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Like video game art design for especially for mass, marketable games was just so drab and gritty. Like, your Call of Duties, like, it's all about photorealism and looking cool and edgy. And like, the thing about this game is that this game got like decent reviews. Like, it looks fucking awful, but it got like like B's, like 80s 70s out of 100. Like, apparently people thought it was fine. And like, I was just
like impossible for us to judge the video game because we are missing the key component. Like, video game stories can suck, but if it's fun to play, it's fun to play. So it is hard to tell. It did look just like a God of War like hack and slash, like as we will probably say a billion more times. So just buy God God of War. But I don't know how anyone looked past some of those story beats and thought like this is the one.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, right? Like, this is, a game that was published by Electronic Arts, which is notorious for taking franchises and fucking them up. This is
Cries in Dragon Age.
yes.
Yep.
I was just about to say, this is right before the Mass Effect 3 scandal. So like, EA has a history. Um, and like I just think it's a very interesting cross section in video game uh history, right? Because me and Layla just got off a call. We were talking about Thomas Was Alone, and like we are getting in 2010 like the emergence of like indie games becoming more fully accessible, and like we're starting to get away from combat as the main mechanic in story. But like this game is what was emblematic of most triple A studios like products at the time, just like entirely combat focused, like a story kind of slapped on there, and then just like lots of browns and reds and quick time sequences that are extremely gory for no reason.
Because you could very easily get rid of the name, remove a couple images of like Christ, and have a like space action game, and it would make as much sense.
I mean, yeah, like again, EA published Dead Space, right? So like it's really coming from that same lineage. It's really just like we wanted to take a very well known literary work and adapt it into something that is broadly marketable. And EA is notorious for their weird marketing stunts. I'm gonna actually show you one of the things they did to market this game, which I think is actually pretty good. I'm gonna post that in our chat right now. It's a 2-minute video, which you don't have to watch in your entirety, but this is how they marketed this game.
Oh, I'm so excited for this. So,
So
for our listeners, I'm gonna describe what I see in front of me. So, Aaron sent me a YouTube link that is from Prayer Works Int. Mass, we pray the video game.
it's really good.
This is the greatest thing I've ever seen. It's a Wii ripoff.
Yes, exactly, right? Because the Wii came out in 2008, and they're like, okay, how can we make a joke about the Wii? So they are showing this marketing video, which is like a bunch of kids playing with like basically like Wii controllers, but they're crosses,
It's got
and it's
rosary.
describing it's describing all the interactive games you can play in Mass. There's the sacrament of confession, and then adult baptism, and they have a kneeler add-on, which is really funny. It shows the kids like kneeling and standing up, which is really, really funny.
I don't even want to look at the comments because I can guess about 14 jokes that I don't want aired that would definitely be said down there.
And I will have you know, when you go to masswepray.com, that domain is on sale right now for $19,888. I wanted to make them an offer of $100, but they said that offers less than $15,000 will not be considered. Unfortunately, that's not the case, but I gave it a shot.
Out of curiosity, is Mass WII Pray available?
Fuck, hold on.
That's the wildest shit I've ever seen.
I've got a bad feeling I'm about to spend $12.
I'll shoot you a Venmo.
I was just about to say, if it's available, I will Venmo you money.
Yeah.
Look, it worked for us last time.
Oh my god, that's so good.
How do I purchase this?
Add
to cart. Add to cart. Go to cart. Auto renew. Yeah, fuck that. That's gonna be really important. Okay.
We need to keep this going. Now we just have to go back in time and make a Wii game. And there we go, boys. We're set.
Okay. Well, thank you, Josh. Now we are now the owners of masswepray.com.
Oh, and then we have what's the other one? 2guysramming.com.
It's guysramalot.net or something. God.
Oh, thank you, Justin McElroy.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah, so this video game was nothing new. Was there, like, a shit ton of backlash over it, or was this one go under the radar?
I mean, honestly, there wasn't so much... There was criticism, right? Like, a lot of people who actually study Dante were like, okay, this game makes Beatrice a damsel in distress, when the whole point of Dante's Inferno is that she saves him.
Oh, yeah.
From his sins, which, like... Yeah, like, that kind of sucks, right? It's extremely falling into the trope of, a damsel in distress, which is very boring, and cliche. Apparently, I'm gonna give you a property, and I want you to guess which person was a voice actor in it, but later got fired in this game. They were in Star Wars.
Mark Hamill?
No, good guess.
Huh. I don't know.
They're in the recent Star Wars.
Mark Hamill.
Fair enough. Also, no. Oscar Isaac.
What the fuck?
Oscar Isaac also revealed he was fired from voiceover work on Dante's Inferno, which he personally thought was terrible.
I wish we could hear the tone of which he said that. Oh, it was
love
terrible.
Oscar Isaac. So I have a fellow fun fact about a voice actor.
Oh no!
Michael. How did you? What the fuck? I know what you did today, and that was work and watch this video.
How did you have time to research this?
Yeah.
Sometimes greatness is just thrust upon you, and with it, you have to follow it. So I recognized a certain Beatrice's voice. I was like, I've heard this somewhere. Did you all have that feeling?
No, I was too busy looking at the things coming out of that nipple.
Yeah, you were watching some extended cut.
I was
DLC.
watching the XXX version.
So I'm gonna paste. This is a long, like, compilation video, but it's gonna give you who plays Beatrice.
This is the most videos I've ever watched.
I see the thumbnail.
Oh,
what do you see, Aaron?
God.
This is the Orbit Gum woman, Vanessa Branch. The dirty mouth, clean it up with Orbit lady.
Fabulous.
I feel like I just got hit by a dump truck. Oh my god. You unlocked so many memories that I did not know I had.
Jesus.
Oh my god.
And to our audience, I literally just said I have no notes. This is what I have for you, and I'm glad that it delivered.
Well, I have like 3 more things I want to talk about, but I also don't know if you guys saw them. So
real quick before we do that, I'm reading the Wikipedia a little bit more thoroughly. There were a couple other criticisms. One, there was people who, like the National Nannies Association. There is an achievement in this game called Bad Nanny. If you murder one of the aforementioned unbaptized infants, you get an achievement. And the National Nannies Association was like, "Hey, what the fuck, guys?" But the ESRB was like, "Well, I mean, we're not like their dad, so we're not going to do anything about it." And also, apparently, there were about 20 protesters who, wanted to protest the game and saying it was sacrilegious. It was later revealed that EA staged those protests, which people were like, "Hey, EA, why?" EA does the wildest shit to market their games. Back in the day, they just did so much fucking shit, and like, on one hand, I love it. On the same hand, like, what are y'all doing? Come on.
Can you just, like, I don't know, pay your developers a little bit more instead of doing this shit? Let them let them have a home life.
Hire a couple more so they don't work 24 hours a day. Jesus Christ.
Seriously.
So, like, there's a lot of cuckoldry in this game, and I'm not just saying that because, like, I like to use the word cuck, but that's the entire point.
I'm pretty sure you are.
Well, that's what instigates the plot, because the whole reason that this happens is because before Dante left, Beatrice was like, hey, don't fuck anyone else. And he was like, yeah, I promise. And then when he was in the Crusades and got super war horny, a woman was like, hey, if I sleep with you, will you let me and my brother go? And he was like, sure. And I guess Beatrice made a deal with the devil. I guess the devil went down to Florida looking for a soul to steal. Did I say Florida?
You did say Florida, which is an interesting choice. Oh, Florence. Okay, that's what you meant. Okay, that's fine.
The devil went down to Florence. Oh my god. Yeah.
The devil went down to Florida, and his name is Rick Scott.
Yeah, so the devil went down to Florence looking for a soul to steal, and made a bet with Beatrice, like, hey, he's totally gonna fuck someone else. She's like, I bet he won't. And when he did, Beatrice got her soul stolen. And it's the whole, like, reason Dante goes to hell to, like, save her. But it turns out the lady that slept with Dante, it wasn't her brother, it was her husband. And then that husband murders Dante?
Yeah.
And maybe that's Beatrice? Or is it someone else that kind of...
No, he does also murder Beatrice. And also, Dante's dad is there and he gets murdered and he sucks.
But... Well, yeah, because he was trying to sleep with Beatrice right before it happened. There's a lot going on there.
It's real dumb.
The fact that so little happens and so much is wild.
But, and then there's the whole plot of, like, the devil showing up with Beatrice being like, I'm going to fuck her, goodbye. And, like, Dante going, no! It's just so strange that was, like, not just one plot point, but the entire catalyst for the entire storyline.
The entire storyline, yeah.
Well, it's just it's what masculinity is to some people. It's all wrapped around who you sleep with.
But that's like what EA's whole marketing division, thought this game was about, right? Or, that's what gaming in general was catered to, a very specific, cis het dude demographic in 2010. I mean, arguably that hasn't shifted a whole lot. It's certainly gotten better. But, like, this is what games were like, and it was, the fact that the very stupid, oh no, he's gonna have sex with your girlfriend thing was the whole motivating factor didn't bat an eye. Like, it's real gross, and I'm glad that video games have evolved in the past 10 years, but, like, what a gross blast from the past.
It did also make it feel like Dante sleeping with the woman was the bad thing he did, not the massacre he committed.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
I just found something that's really, really amazing? Question mark?
Is it the goat penis?
No. So let's talk about the devil for a second.
Oh, fuck.
It is the
We've done this so much lately.
Wait, Aaron, put in your bet now. Is it connected to the Left Behind series, or is it connected to Ronald Reagan? I'm going Ronald Reagan.
Yeah, I mean, it's Michael, so I'm assuming it has to do with Reagan.
So it's neither. I cannot believe what I'm about to tell you.
We're in uncharted weather. Water, what is wrong with me? Michael, read the fact.
So this person who voiced the devil has voiced several people that we all know. I am going to drop a couple of them in the chat. So I'm going to drop with the one that gave me the face that you all just saw.
No!
It's a Digimon!
He voiced a Digimon!
Uh-huh.
No!
Which Digimon is that? It's the red one from season 3, I want to say?
Gilmon.
Okay. He talks like this! It's very weird.
Yeah. From Tamers. But he also... Aaron, this is going to melt your brain, and I don't know that you're prepared for it. I don't know.
It's also your wife.
It's Sierra. Yeah. Orochimaru!
Not good.
This rules! Fuck yes.
Oh my god, it's the bad dude from Naruto!
Ah, Christ. Oh, I can't believe non-binary icon Orochimaru also in Dante's Inferno. Thank you, voice actor man.
Oh man, my conspiracy theory board groweth.
Holy baloney. Okay, yeah, listen, this game's wild and has very little to do with Christianity. So like, this isn't necessarily going to be one of our deepest, most theologically heavy discussions, I don't think. But I did want to ask y'all, if you were to adapt Dante's Inferno into a video game, how would you do that? Because there is a way to do it and make it an actual compelling experience. This isn't it, so I would say eliminate that option. But what are your thoughts? How would you make Dante's Inferno, or the entire trilogy, a compelling interactive experience?
I think I would stick 100% to the idea of your personal hell. Like, you face either the issues of, like, I feel like you could easily turn the, like, terrible image of the suicide forest into, like, Dante judging those who committed suicide, and it could be, like, turn on it that way. I'm fine with it being, like, a hack-and-slash adventure if it's, like, a dude fighting his own demons and coming to terms with his own decisions. And I think that's way more interesting than looking at, like... Because if you did it the most accurate way, it would be a dude walks and talks to a couple people, and then walks, and then Virgil does some shit, and then Beatrice saves his ass.
Here's the thing, I love walking simulators, that's my ideal adaptation, so...
Lord of the Rings, but the not fun part.
Mm-hmm.
All fellowship.
Yeah.
So, I think my version of this game, it would never be made by EA. That much I can assure you. This
Good start.
Would be made by some indie developer. It would probably be for the Switch, and it would almost certainly be little chibi characters, much similar to our faces in all of our promotional material. And it would follow Beatrice saving Dante from himself. Because the whole point of this is Dante thinks he's saving Beatrice, but she's actually saving him. And I think that's a far more compelling story. I think we've seen hack and slash done way better than this. And I am a actual fan. Like, I love some games of that genre. But instead of doing that and kind of going like the lazy, gory way, I think there would be something fun about a story about redemption and a story about forgiveness and a story about, maybe the hero of the story is not the person with the largest body count, but the nicest person. That might be a fun little twist on this. And I'm not anti-fighting, like, don't get me wrong. Like, I think there are plenty of fun games like that. I just don't think this story calls for that necessarily. At least not textually. So yeah, my Dante's Inferno would be very scant on the Dante.
I just, for whatever reason, pictured like one of those mobile games where like you click and like you're here. I just pictured like an angel Beatrice being the hero and her watching Virgil and Dante get through it, and you have to click for like her to stop them from getting attacked by demons.
Well, like, my idea is kind of inspired by the game The Witch's House.
Okay.
Have either of you played it or heard of
No.
it?
I've heard of it, but I don't know much about it.
All right, so I'm about to spoil The Witch's House. If any of you don't want it spoiled, you should just skip ahead a little bit, and you'll know because I won't be talking.
I'll be back in about 5.
The Witch's House is the story where you play this protagonist and she's running from the witch. and the whole game is her running from the witch, running away, and at the end of the game you defeat the witch, but guess what? The actual innocent girl was the witch. They switched bodies because of a spell. And I just think like something in that vein would be a way more interesting story and gameplay.
Yeah, definitely. Like something that's not just like, oh, Dante was dead the whole time. Like a twist that actually adds to the narrative instead of subtracting from it. Um,
Right,
yeah.
like, surprise, Beatrice isn't the one that needed saving. Dante thought he was coming down to hell to save her, but he was actually, like, bringing himself further down into hell, and she saves him.
Mm-hmm.
Call an ambulance, but not for me.
Exactly. Okay, so we've been going for about 40 minutes. I don't know that we need to, unless anybody else has more stuff they want to talk about, I don't know that we need to make this a long one. We're all busy this
I already
week.
talked about Orochimaru. I've got my fill.
Yeah, hard to top that.
We watch different movies, so...
I mean, yeah, unfortunately we did watch different things, which did probably change our experiences, huh?
God damn it.
Oh, I'm so glad you got the worst version.
There were so many nipples, man. I just have to say, there were like 18 minutes of the like hour and 20-minute thing I watched where it was either nipples or penis, and there was 9 of it was penis. So I guess like progress.
That's progressivism.
Yeah.
That's equality.
Oh, Dante has a stupid haircut.
I guess, yeah.
I mean, fair.
He looks like Coconut Head.
Okay, for all you Ned's Declassified fans out there. Oh, Christ. Yeah, I think that about covers it. If you really want to experience it the way that it was meant to be experienced, you have to play the game. But if you want to experience it the way that we did, or at least me and Michael did, you can look up some cutscene videos. If you want the one that Josh did, you're gonna have to go to some weird dark web link.
I know a guy.
XXL.
I know a guy. Don't worry.
You're just gonna have to go to Pornhub. Like, that's the version you watched.
Wait, your guys' video wasn't a dude delivering a pizza?
Okay. Well, next week, we are also going to return to hell. With I think his name is Bill Weiss's 23 Minutes in Hell. Since we read a book last time about going to heaven, I thought it was fitting that we should counter that with some opinions, from the other side. And apparently, that experience will be worse than the experience of watching Dante's Inferno. So, can't wait for that.
I will never get ahead ever again. I will never be early. And Aaron, don't try to weasel out of our rating.
Oh shit, we do have to do. I always forget the rating.
You always, at this point, it's a bit in and of itself.
Just some of the media we consume is so bad. Josh, what is your rating for this great seminal work of 2010?
I'm gonna give it 1 anti-Virginia's flag.
Thus never to tyrants?
No, instead of a woman out with a woman with a titty out killing a tyrant, it's a tyrant killing a woman with her titty out.
Ah, I see. Extremely good.
Fair.
There are no one that laughed, but I guarantee at least one person went, ah.
Yeah, that's alright. You know what? Sometimes we have to set expectations and be happy with them, and I'm proud of you for doing that.
Thank you.
I guess in a similar vein, this is the 10th station. Jesus is stripped of his garments for no reason in this video game, but it was there constantly.
It was there constantly. I am going to give this 1 out of 9 circles of hell because I am in purgatory for having watched this.
Oh, thank God. Gentlemen, where can people find you on the internet?
I am at Green History on Twitter.
I'm at Michael's Diamonds on Twitter.
I'm at AaronSXL on Twitter. You can also listen to the other podcast I do at Mortified Pod. Me and Layla just recorded an episode about the video game Thomas Was Alone and how mechanics influence story in video games. And we do have a very good discussion. So if you liked this kind of conversation about video games, please go ahead and check that out. You can... Nope, we don't have a theme song that we cite here. It's Awesome God. If you all didn't know, it's a MIDI file of that. It's a banger. Well,
it's not.
As it's a great. You don't like Awesome God?
I don't like biblical music, man.
Oh man.
Except Amazing Grace, just because that song slaps.
See, church music is good. God. Oh, as I cry tears for our many, many damned souls, just remember that it is okay to cry because even Jesus wept. We'll see you all next time.